Right, good morning. It's Filthy Ketchup. This is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful time, or just as best as you can be, really, in this lockdown. My hair's a mess, I'm sure yours is as well. So, today on my live, I want to talk about weird things or strange things, or what it's like to be poor. What's it like when you've got no money? What's it like to be poor? I mean, we all know what it's like to wait for payday, what it's like to be skint, but we don't necessarily know what it's like to live in poverty. So that's what I'm talking about today. And yeah, I grew up, basically in a trailer park, in a trailer. So I've got some experience of this. I know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm looking around because there's some dodgy characters in the park. I live in a shared house, so I have to film outside, which I prefer anyway. The problem is with Queen's Park, that's on my doorstep, and with me being in recovery, there's people going to cop everywhere, all over the park. They're like little running around everywhere. So if you see one, forgive me, they're not my fault. I didn't bring them. So, what's it like to be poor? What are some of the weird habits and stuff that poor people have? Well, the first weird, or the first horrible thing I could think of is either being too hot or too cold. Have you ever had that feeling when you're boiling hot, like you're really sweating, and it's all day when you can't get any fans in? So uh, the thing I remember is either always having the fan on or the oven on, because you can't afford gas or heating or AC, air conditioning. So what you do is you buy a cheap fan in the summer and you have that on all the time, and then in the winter you put your oven on and open the oven to heat the place up. So that's one thing. Weather, two, bugs, head lice, lice in your hair, bugs on your clothes, bugs in your house, roaches, rats, mice. When you're poor, you get used to living with wildlife and also in the park. And so you get used to living with things on your clothes, in your hair. Um, just nasty, nasty things like lice on your clothes, having to pick shit off your clothes, only having enough hot water to bathe once a week. I remember when I was a kid, my mum used to get this like tub thing that was tied onto the top of our trailer, and she'd get it down from the top of the trailer and fill it up with hot water from the kettle. Like she'd boil pans of water and shit and boil them and then just put them in this bath, and we all had to share bath water as well. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone? Let me know in the comments if you've grown up poor or you know people who are poor. Have you ever had to share bath water with somebody else? Now I'm the youngest in my family, so I was last for that bath water. now now I've got my own bathroom. I bathe like sometimes twice, 3 times a day. I know it's excessive, but it's because of growing up like that now I want to be clean. You know what I mean? I'm always in the bath, I'm always in the shower. It's how I relax, and I like feeling fresh. Oh, there's some more. I have to move. There's some more crackheads skittering up around here. They're going to cop over there, I think. So yeah, so you're always hot, you're always dirty, you've always got lice. It's just being poor is so, it's not a fun time. And what I really hate, what really pisses me off, is when people start talking about personal responsibility. Have you ever had that? Where you're talking about people who are like refugees or people who are poor or the poor people next door or whatever, and someone says, well, yeah, and they always pull it out of the hat like they've got something special, you know what I mean? They go, yeah, what about personal responsibility? Well, what about it? If you're a refugee from a war-torn country, or you're a little kid whose parents have got no money, or your school shuts down, or your house burns down, or you're in Hurricane Katrina, it doesn't, you could have the most discipline in the world, you can have an iron will, okay? That's not going to make any difference to your situation. So personal responsibility is dependent on exigent circumstances. In other words, what's going on in your life is going to determine what's going on economically. You know, of course it is. If you're in a stable and well-fed situation, I think they're gone now. Have they gone? Yeah, they fucked off. You know, personal responsibility is dependent on exigent circumstances. If something terrible happens to you, or you're living in poverty because of addiction, or you're living in poverty because of war, or something like that, personal responsibility means fuck all. It means fuck all. How are you going to exercise personal responsibility in a vacuum? Can you tell me that? No. I love having these arguments with like right-wing people and people like that, because they just get destroyed. Where's my face? There. Because they just get destroyed, you know. They can't give me an answer for how you would exercise personal responsibility when you literally can't, you know. And that's it, isn't it? That's it. The other thing I would have to say about being poor, what's bad about it is weird food or crappy food. Pot noodles, super noodles, beans, chips, chips with everything. When I was a kid, we had this death trap, cheap, fucking horrible deep fryer thing that everything went in. Everything went in. It was like, if you were lucky, you'd have like chips and beans, or it was always chips and something and chips. Like, if it was Thursday night, the day before payday, then it would just be chips, like the last bits of the potatoes. But like usually it would be egg and chips, or potato fritter and chips, you know, chip and chips. That was it. Now I will not touch fried food. I will not touch frozen food. Everything I eat now is fresh and healthy, but that's only been like in the last year that I've been eating like that. For 40 years, I've been basically eating crap. There's two squirrels having a fight over there. Literally having a little punch up. This is such a beautiful park. I love this park. So, weird things about growing up poor. So, where have we got to so far? Yeah, always being hot, always being cold, weird food, bugs. What else? There are lots of bad things about it, but there are good things about it as well. Poverty teaches you resilience, endurance. It teaches you to care for one another. You know, you've got a sense of community because everybody's skint, everybody's trying. You know, we all pull in together, and it gives you that community spirit. You know, it helps you to care about other people. As much as people like me believe in anything, I believe in social justice, and I believe in community, and I believe in looking out for one another. So that's something you learn, and you also learn to be, as I said, resilient. You learn to put up with things and get on with it, which is a good thing. So, oh my God, my hair is a mess. How is your hair looking? Today, I want to put up worst hair challenge on social media. I'm going to put up a picture of my hair right in the morning, 2-inch long roots sticking out everywhere. So I'm going to put hashtag lockdown hair challenge. take me up on it. Take me up on it. Down below or on my social media, put up your worst lockdown hair challenge. That would be good. That's not something women do a lot. So this is my beautiful park on my beautiful Tuesday morning. And as a lot of the subjects we talk about here on Filthy Ketchup are not fun subjects, you know, we're going to be talking about real things that happen to real people. But there's always going to be a good side of that, because there always is. There's always a good side on life, you know. It's just a question of looking for it. And when you're growing up poor, or you've been poor, it teaches you to appreciate things as well, you know. And that's important. It's important to appreciate things. It's important to appreciate your life, and it's important to appreciate each other. So I hope that's something you'll take away today. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for your blessings. Be grateful for each other. Look after each other. Be kind to everybody, everywhere, every time. At home, at school, at work, in the office, in the shop. Whatever you're doing today, let's be kind to each other. Let's leave each other alone. And let's get through this. Alright? Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.